Hello students, welcome back to my channel Learn Infinity. I hope all of you are well and you are ready to get to know about the Vedic civilization in a more. So get ready for that. Let's start today's class. Today I am going to discuss about the life of the Vedic people. Okay, how they lived their life. Already we have got to know that what is the sources behind the Vedic civilization, from where we get to know about such things. So today we are going in a deep analysis. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you about the Vedic political organization. Political organization means, see, if 10 people are living in a family, so definitely there will be some elder people in your family and the younger people must follow the rules and the regulations whatever created by the elder people, right? So the head should be there, a head member should be there who will control the whole family, who will take care the whole family. Otherwise what will happen? If there is 5 siblings, they will start quarrel, they will start fighting among each other, right? So it is not the good thing. So that the Vedic people also understand this problem and they started their political life. The basic unit of political organization was Kula or family. What we are calling? Kula. Okay? The basic unit of political organization was Kula or family. It starts with the family itself. Okay. Now, several families joined together on the basis of their kinship to form a village or gram. Now, as we know, when 2 to 3, more than one family, if they all join together, if they live together, then definitely there will be some adjustment, there will be some compromises happen, right? So, on the basis of their kinship, they created a village or gram. Several families joined together and it created a village or gram. Okay. Now, as in our family, if we talk about now, so there is our grandparents. They are known as our head member, head of the family. At that Vedic time, the head of the family is known as Kulpa. What they known? Kulapa. Okay. And the head of a village is Gramani. This term you should remember, dear, because this term is actually identify the authority who is having the power to control, right? So the head of the family member is known as Kulapa and the head of a village is known as Gramani. Okay, the people, the person who is controlling over a whole village is known as Gramani. A group of villages constitute a larger unit of called Vis. Now, what it is? A group of village. Before that, a group of family created the gram or the village. Now, more than one village, a group of village constituted a larger unit that is called Vis. V-I-S, Vis. What does it mean? Vis means it is more than the village. When more than one village is together, then it is called Vis. And who is the head of this Vis? The head person was Visapati. It was called Visapati. Okay. Now, this way, they created a tribe. Means when the grams and the villages again and again they are joining together and it creates a larger unity, then it's called Jana or tribe. Now they have fixed their tribe's name. Bharatas, Matsyas, Yadus, Purus. These are the names of the tribe at that Vedic period. Okay. So once again I am telling the highest political unit was called Jana or tribe. If I will give you an example, it will be more easily understandable. Nowadays, what we are calling, we are living in India. It is a country, right? But if someone will ask me that, ma'am, where are you living? If I will tell India, is it the proper answer? Then also the question will come that, ma'am, in India, where? In which state? Then I have to tell West Bengal. So the state name also I told, right? Now, state West Bengal is not only a very small area, it is also a huge. There are so many cities, there are so many towns, so many districts, right? So in which district, which city I am living, that is also questionable. So every place and every state is having its unique name, right? And the people also known as that people. Like we are living in West Bengal, so I am living in West Bengal, so I am known as Bengali, right? So this way, these tribes in Vedic period also, they were having some few names like Bharatas, Matsas, Yadus and Purus. Okay. Now this every Jan means more than one village. When it's so many villages got together, then these villages, these tribes or these Janas is also having the higher authority. It was known as Rajan or king. It means the kingship was there. That time the king was there, who was the protector of the people. Okay, you know that you heard so many kings' name. What is the main duty of the king? What is the responsibility of the king? The king rules his kingdom and he sets some rules and regulations for the common people that they must follow the king's rules, right? So here also in Vedic period also there was the king also having alternate name, Rajan. Okay, so this way it got just in a huge level and huge level. Okay, now the whole country was called Rashtra. Now you just tell me, we are living in India, we are calling it as a country. We are not calling it as a Bharat Yukt Rashtra. We are also call it as a Bharat Yukt Rashtra, right? Means Rashtra. So the whole country was called Rashtra. Okay, and monarchism was the form of government at Rigved period. Rigved period means the early Vedic period, right? Monarchism was there, kingship was there, the king was ruling, and this king was assisted by the Purohitas or priests and Senani or commander of the army. Now we have to know that I have already told you the Brahmana was so many respectable at that moment, Vedic period. The people, common people, they believed that yes, the Brahmanas are the substitute of the god. They are the just some way that the god want to tell something through their mouth. Okay, they were believed like that. So the king also was assisted by the Purohitas or the priests, and definitely the another king will try to control one kingdom. So to protect from the another foreign kingdom or the another king, the Senani or the commander of the army also assisted the king. So this was the total political organization of the Vedic period, right? Now we have to know the Vedic social organization. Socially, how they lived, what was their occupation, what they did, right? Now, in this Vedic civilization, Vedic period, society was divided into 4 varnas. How many? 4 varnas. You have to remember these things, 4 varnas. It's very important. How they divided these 4 varnas? It is on the basis of their occupation. Okay? It is on the basis of their occupation. So, which kind of job, job they are doing, work they are doing, on that basis, the Vedic society was divided into 4 varnas. Okay? It played an important part in determining his social status. Actually, in society, who will be the rich, who will be the poor, who will be the middle class, on the occupation only it depends, right? So, these varnas is actually played an important role in determining his social status. Vedic society also divided between the fair-skinned, who are known as Aryans, and the dark-skinned, who are known as the non-Aryans. Non-Aryans, they are known as also the Dasha, Dashyus or Ashuras also, right? So at that time, the Vedic civilization, the people were actually divided into color combination, the skin complexion. Those who are very fair skinned, they are known as the Aryan people, and they were really too much appreciated in society. They had some respect, they had some position. But whose skin complexion is dark, they are known as non-Aryans, and they also called as the Dashus or Ashuras, like the devils, right? And at that time, the protocol was there that these dark-skinned people or the Ashura people could not worship the Vedic gods. The people always believed in gods, but this protocol was established that the Asura or the dark-skinned people could not worship the Vedic gods. This was the criteria in society at that time. Now we have to know about the four Varnas, because it is a very important role in this Vedic civilization. Four Varnas is divided into four castes. Now we can call it as four castes also. First, who was the higher in position? Brahmana, who looked after the religious and spiritual matters, studied shastras and performed sacrifices. So, Brahmanas were had in a topmost high position, and they were really too much appreciated, too much respectful. They only having the power to do some sacrificing performance. They have only read the Shastra, and they looked after the religious and spiritual matters. Means whatever they explained, whatever the cards, whatever the bliss they given to the common people, the people believed at that time that yes, the God is telling this, not the Brahmanas. They have that higher position. Okay. Comes to the second Varna, Kshatriya. Kshatriya was very brave and skillful warriors who fought wars. As I told you that Vedic civilization was kingship. There was king, and the king was assisted by the army. So in that, the people who were very much brave and very much skillful warriors who can fight against the enemies, who fought wars, they are known as the Kshatriyas. Okay. Comes to the third Varna, that is Vaishyas. Who is that? Vaishyas are those people who worked as cultivators. Cultivators means who are doing agriculture, who are producing the crops, and also they are making some handcrafts. Craftsmen, merchants, and traders also, the businessman, the teacher, the craftsmen, cultivators, these all people are under this category, Vaishyas. Okay. And the lowest position was Sudras. Sudra people who were lived in this Vedic period, they were renowned as very much low, very much down in society, who worked as slaves and served the above three groups. Actually, the other Varna people, they behaved with the Sudra people like they are the slave of them. They are the servant of them. Whenever they need, they are just ordering them to do the work, or if anybody is not doing the same work what they told, they just did torture on them. So this was the four Varnas in Vedic civilization. Socially, these four Varnas are very important, and it is divided into four Varnas on the basis of their occupation. Okay. So now comes to know about the women life. In this Vedic civilization, in this Vedic period, how the women live, how their life was. Okay. In Rig Vedic times, women were highly respected, both from inside and outside the home. It doesn't matter that where they are. If they're inside their house, they were also respected, got respect from other people, and if they will go to outside of their home, that time also they got too much respected. Okay, so their position was in a very good position. They participated in all the religious ceremonies with their husbands. They also attended the meetings of the Samiti. Samiti means the political organization. when the meeting is needed, means how the development have to be done, where some crime has happened and some justifications should be given by the king. So in that meetings also these women can visit, these women can attend with their husbands also, and some religious ceremony will happen. They also participated with the husbands. So particularly in Vedic civilization, women were really in a great position. They got so much respect. They were the women poets. Even they got the freedom to learn, to read, to educate, right? There were women poets like Apala, Vishwavara, Ghosha, Lopamudra. These were some famous women in Vedic civilization who wrote some poems. So you can easily understand that at this time, women were allowed to educate, right? That's why they can write down also the poems. They were really educated. And at that moment, a good thing was there. There was no child marriage and the practice of Sati Pratha. You know what is the Sati Pratha? In early India, after this Vedic civilization, at that time, the girl, when she was very small, nearly 9 years to 14 years, forcefully they had to marry some oldest man, nearly about 60 age to 80 age. And after the death of her husband, she has to forced to die alive. Okay, so this was known as Sati Pratha. But in Vedic civilization, there was no child marriage and also there was no practice of Sati Pratha. It was really very good thing. Swayamvaram system also prevails. What is that Swayamvaram system? Swayamvaram system was a rule that a woman was given the freedom to marry a man of her choice. So whom the woman has chosen for her life partner, she can marry with him. She can marry with him. There was no restrictions. Okay? That was known as Swayamvaram. Monogamy. A man generally had only one wife. In Vedic civilization, in Vedic period, monogamy system was also there. What is this monogamy system? Monogamy system is actually a rule that describes that a man generally had only one wife. And kings are only have the power that they can marry more than one girl, more than one lady. They are known as the polygamy. Okay? So these criteria were there. These systems were prevailed in this Vedic civilization. Okay? So this was the life of women. Now come to that, the food, which are our basic needs, right? Without the food, we can't survive. So which kind of food the Aryans ate? Which kind of foods that the Vedic civilization people ate? The Aryans ate wheat, barley, vegetables, fruits, meats. You know, this time the agriculture also progressed. So the people learned to progress the crop productions. So definitely the wheat, barley, vegetables, fruits, this all kind of crops and food grains they can eat. And the meats. At that time also Aryans were very much hunter. So they killed the animals and then they just eating the meats also. That time domesticated animals also there. So the milk and the products which is consumed from the milk also they drink and eat, right? They also drank shoma during sacrifices and religious ceremony. Shoma is a kind of drink. It is a liquid form of drink that the people in Vedic civilization they drank when some religious ceremony happens or some sacrificing ceremony happened by the Brahmanas. Okay, and there was another kind of drink that was sura. Sura actually any time, any ordinary occasions they drank. So this was the basic foods of the Aryan people, of the Vedic people. Okay, so this was today's topic regarding how their life was, how the political life was, how the social life was, how the women life and the food. This thing I hope all of you understood, and if any queries or any doubts is there, definitely you can post in the comment section. I will definitely clear your doubts and wait for the next video. Once again I am telling, you will get your doubts clear and the more knowledge from social studies, from history, geography, economy, civics, from every topic, every chapter, you will get the analysis through this channel, Learn Infinity. So you just have to subscribe my channel to get more videos and click on the bell icon to get the notifications updated. And if you like the video, then give a like and share it with your friends, that it can help to other people also. So thank you all. Bye everyone.